Today, I invite you to embark on a thrilling journey through the pages of the Old Testament of the Bible, where we will immerse our minds and hearts in the incredible life of a Moabite woman named Ruth. This woman is not just a character but a figure of great significance in the biblical narrative, whose life has been an unwavering testimony of courage, loyalty, and unconditional love. Before we delve into the details of this gripping story, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel and activate the notifications, so you won't miss any of our future journeys together. Let's begin our exploration in the land of Bethlehem, during a particularly challenging time marked by a severe famine. In this setting, we encounter a family comprised of Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and their two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, who are drastically affected by this food crisis. Facing a lack of sustenance, Elimelech makes a tough but necessary decision to migrate to Moab, hoping to find a brighter future for his family. This move to Moab signifies not just a geographical shift but also sets the stage for a chain of events that will uniquely shape Ruth's destiny. However, things in Moab are not easy. Elimelech passes away, leaving Naomi widowed and their sons without paternal guidance. Melancholy and uncertainty hover over the family, originally from Bethlehem, now in a foreign land, distant from their roots and loved ones. During their stay in Moab, Mahlon and Chilion marry Moabite women, Ruth and Orpah, respectively. It's crucial to note that Ruth's marriage to Mahlon went beyond the Hebrew customs of the time, as it was usually forbidden to marry women from other nations. Yet, Ruth and Mahlon shared a love and bond that transcended norms and rules. Tragedy strikes again when Mahlon and Chilion die, leaving Ruth, Orpah, and Naomi immersed in widowhood. This twist of fate places them in an extremely delicate and precarious situation, without the support of their husbands or children. Join me as we continue to explore how these three women, bound by loss and desolation, navigate their circumstances, and how Ruth, in particular, emerges as a pivotal figure in the genealogy of Jesus. This journey promises to be filled with discoveries, excitement, and invaluable lessons about bravery and unconditional love. After the bitter farewell to their husbands, Ruth and her sister-in-law Orpah find themselves at a crossroads, facing a choice that would define their futures and test their hearts and loyalties. Ruth, despite the profound sorrow of widowhood, rises as a symbol of unwavering loyalty and steadfast faith. These two women, alongside their mother-in-law Naomi, are faced with a dilemma: to stay in Moab, the land that has sheltered them thus far, or to embark on a journey back to Bethlehem with Naomi. While Orpah chooses to stay in the familiar, Ruth makes a remarkable decision that solidifies her strong bond with Naomi. The words Ruth spoke to Naomi have echoed through time and stand as a symbol of loyalty in the Bible. "Do not urge me to leave you or to return from following you. For where you go, I will go, and where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people shall be my people, and your God my God." This declaration of love and dedication not only sets the stage for a new phase in her life but also illustrates her courage in choosing a path filled with uncertainties and challenges. Ruth, leaving behind her country, her culture, and her family in Moab, decides to follow Naomi. Aware that life in Bethlehem might bring hardships and an uncertain future, her commitment to Naomi, and now, her newfound faith in the God of Israel, overshadows any fears or doubts. Ruth imparts a genuine lesson of profound faith and the willingness to embark on an uncharted path, in pursuit of a renewed beginning. Upon arriving in Bethlehem, Ruth and Naomi, caught in the web of need and responsibility, faced the reality of their survival in a place that, while familiar to Naomi, is new and unknown to Ruth. With determination, Ruth decides to work in the fields during the harvest season, fields which, as fate would have it, belonged to Boaz, a close relative of Naomi. This wasn't just a survival strategy, but it became a pivotal moment in Ruth's story. In the fields, her diligence, humility, and effort did not go unnoticed. Ruth, gathering sheaves, not only demonstrated her commitment to physical subsistence but also her integrity of character. Boaz, observing her and learning of her story in connection to Naomi, was deeply moved, marking an encounter that would have significant implications in the tapestry of her life and biblical genealogy. As Ruth, with industrious hands, collected sheaves in Boaz's fields during the harvest season, a pivotal encounter in her life and the pages of biblical history was unfolding. Boaz, not only having a social and familial duty towards the widows of the family according to the customs of the time, but was genuinely impressed and moved by Ruth's dedication and innate kindness. Her story, colored by tragedy and loyalty to Naomi, touched the depths of his heart. The exchange between Ruth and Boaz was not merely circumstantial, but it evolved into a meaningful connection. Ruth bravely expressed her wish for Boaz to act as her redeemer, adhering to the law of levirate, a practice that would allow the preservation of the inheritance of her late husband, Mahlon. This request not only reflected her understanding and respect for Hebrew laws and customs, but also her boldness and proactivity in seeking security and protection for her and Naomi's future. After that resonating conversation in the fields, Ruth boldly took a step by formally asking Boaz to assume the role of her redeemer according to levirate law. Boaz, responding with kindness and honesty, informed her of a closer relative than himself, who would have the first option to redeem her. However, he also assured her that if this relative declined, he would redeem Ruth without hesitation. In Ruth chapter 4, we delve into the dialogue between Boaz and this closer relative, who, fearing a compromise of his own inheritance, chooses not to redeem Ruth. This, likely to the relief and happiness of Boaz, who had grown fond of Ruth, allowed him to honorably take on the role of redeemer. The story takes a beautiful turn when Ruth and Boaz marry, not only solidifying their relationship but also fulfilling a divine purpose in preserving Mahlon's lineage. This marriage becomes a crucial turning point in the biblical narrative, not just representing a genuine commitment between two souls but also setting a milestone in the genealogy that would lead to the birth of David and, ultimately, Jesus. Thus, Ruth, the humble gleaner from Moab, becomes an integral figure in the royal genealogy, as she and Boaz are blessed with a son, Obed, who would become the grandfather of King David. Ruth's life, intrinsically intertwined with faith, loyalty, and love, shows us how even amidst trials, obedience, and faith can carve an extraordinary destiny. We hope this account has been inspiring, and that the echoes of Ruth's life resonate in your hearts. We would love to read your opinions and thoughts about this story. Don't forget to share your comments and join us for future biblical explorations. Until next time, and may God bless you.